Well, hello and welcome everybody to the New Health Conversation. And for the censors out there that monitor the community guidelines, we always tell you, unlike other people, we only quote from peer-reviewed human trial medical studies. Nothing we're making about is an opinion. People, we're going to guarantee you lose 20 pounds in a month, and most of it's fat. There's so many lies out there, so many myths, so many misconceptions. We don't do that. We only rely on medical proof. Ours is an educational platform. There's nothing to buy. We educate people. So we always want you to know that when we quote something, it's in the public domain, meaning all of our audience can go and see it on their own. We don't make outrageous claims, so you don't have to worry about editing us. You can if you want, of course, but you'll find that everything we talk about is medically backed. I'm just so sick and tired of seeing all this nonsense out there on social media. We're real researchers. Hello, everybody, and good morning, or good afternoon, or wherever you might be. So first of all, yes, she really lost 35 pounds in 37 days. What I was just saying is that the problem is that you're all being lied to. There is no diet that's ever been proven to keep weight off, to lose weight and keep it off long term. 2/3 of you will gain more than you lost. You see these people coming on with these magic, buy my ad, they're going to give you recipes and a way to do it, but they have no medical proof. A before and after is not medical proof. The difference here is, for example, that everything I'm showing you is published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world. I can't believe how many people are being taken in. In 4 years, they're projecting 86% of you will be overweight and obese in just 4 years. Why are you believing these influencers that you see without one shred of medical evidence? We provide you medical evidence that you can rely on. Couple more things. We coach you for free. There's no charge for what we do. We don't sell anything. There's no products here. This is a scientific breakthrough invented by the top weight loss nutrition researchers in the world, not some person writing on a whiteboard with no credentials whatsoever. And I'm talking about, with all due respect, I see medical doctors and chiropractors and dietitians and nutritionists giving you all this stuff. If any of these diets worked, if any of them worked, they'd have $1 trillion company. Did you ever ask? Everybody's gone already. Okay, well, it's so frustrating to see this. This is just crazy, crazy, crazy. Hello, Vero. How are you this morning? Are you curious about how she lost 35 pounds in 37 days and she's kept it off for 8 or 9 years? This is not a diet. This is going to blow away everything out there on the internet that's talking about all these diets, all these nice people coming on and giving you a bunch of nonsense, but none of them work. I mean, the Johns Hopkins Medical School now says within 4 years, 86% of America is going to be overweight or obese. Do you think if it was as simple as giving you a recipe and a workout routine and a grocery list that would work? It's not working. This protocol is published, Vera, in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world. And we provide you with free coaching. You even get a guide to tell you exactly what to do, when to do it, how much, that was developed by the top weight loss researchers in the world. These are daily videos. It's all part of it. It's all free. We don't charge anything for coaching because we all got coached. We believe it's so important that we get this message out to the general public. Vero, are you looking to lose weight, or any of you? Are you looking to lose weight, anybody? Because I'll explain to you exactly what she did, but she's not the only one. If you look at Kristen here, look at this. She lost 21 pounds and 38 inches in just a month. Would you be happy with that, any of you, to lose 21 pounds and 38? Now look, here's the difference. This isn't just holding up some before and after picture. This is absolutely published. This protocol, how it was done, and the results are published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world. Nobody else on social media has one medical study. None, zero. You're all, hi, Debbie Martin. You're all following these people for what reason? I don't know. But look, 21 pounds. And then look at this lady here. 60 pounds in 3 months. 60 pounds in 3 months, everybody. I mean, who else? I see these people yakking. They're writing on whiteboards and giving you before and afters. That doesn't mean a damn thing. Where's the medical proof? They're telling you things like you can burn fat on a diet. That's a complete lie. There's no such thing as burning fat, everybody, on a diet or on exercise. You're born with a certain number of fat cells. You die with a certain number of fat cells. And they're telling you things like you don't have to count calories. I would agree with that because the human body has no idea what a calorie is. But they're giving you recipes. Do you understand? They're giving you recipes and telling you that you can don't eat for 16 hours and eat for 8, and somehow it's a magic bullet. There's not one, as a matter of fact, I'll tell you how ineffective that is. This time-restricted eating, okay? You've all heard about it, I'm sure. Well, after 12 months, This is a big study done, not by me, but by researchers. After 12 months on time-restricted eating, people lost 10 to 14 pounds, and 25 to 40% of what they lost was lean muscle mass, and they all gained all their weight back. We need to stop this madness. I mean, these people are coming on and giving you opinions with no credibility, zero. I can't find one shred of medical evidence for what they're telling you. Intermittent time-restricted eating is nothing more than a low-calorie diet, and that's not my opinion. Here's Annals of Internal Medicine, a huge study, 12 weeks where they compared this time-restricted eating to just lowering calories. After 12 weeks, the people on the time-restricted eating only lost 4.6 pounds, and those doing calorie reduction lost 5.2 pounds, and they said, any suggestion that time-restricted eating is any weight loss is due anything other than reducing calories is completely false. This is the Annals of Internal Medicine, not some person giving you an opinion online. You all have a chance to change your lives if that's what you want to do. Hello, Diane. Hello, Christine. Look at that. How many of you would be excited? On this, you're going to average between 5 and 10 pounds a week. Look at this guy, 65 years old, 40 pounds in a month. You think anybody else has anything like this? And it's bad. And look at his blood work. Look at his A1C went from 8.4 to 6.4. Triglycerides 242 to 124. We have real medical proof. This is going to change. This could change your world. So Diana, Christine, I'd just love to know how much weight are you looking to lose? And we coach you for free. It says right here, free coaching. These other people want to sell you an app to get a coach. Really? And they're giving you recipes, and you're going to believe this nonsense? This is the real first science. This took 40 years of research, over 100 studies, thousands of people to develop this. I didn't develop it. We don't sell it. There's no products to buy. This is based on this medical research. You literally would get to do exactly what they did in the medical trials. So again, are you serious about losing weight? This is the only medical podcast on all social media. The rest of it's all chatter without one shred of medical evidence. And people are that desperate, they'll follow opinions. I don't care that they're holding up before and afters. I'm holding up 10 peer-reviewed human trial medical studies. This is not a diet. It doesn't work anything like a diet. There's no counting calories, for example. But we give you exactly what they did in the medical trials. And the key to this was you can't buy the foods that you would need necessary to make this happen at your grocery store, even if you do organic. Look at this, everybody. She lost 35 pounds in 37 days. That's like a pound a day. You think any diet does that? She lost no water weight and gained 6 to 9% lean muscle mass. But okay, if that's too much for you, just come back to this. This is the average. At least 5 pounds a week, at least. But she only had 30 pounds to lose. So don't show me someone that's 100 pounds and they lost 20 pounds in a month. It's not proportionally, it's not the same. Look at this lady here, everybody. How about 200 pounds in a year? 200. Look at that. Where's the loose skin? No surgery of any kind. We need to get a grip on this. It shouldn't bother me so much. But I see these people coming on social media and giving you all this spin, and they got 500,000 followers. Following you to do what? There's no diet ever that has produced long-term weight loss until now. And this is not a diet. It has nothing to do with dieting. So who would like to ask me a question? Do you want to know how they're doing this? Would that be of value to you all? This is the only real medical evidence on all of social media. And yet most of you are going to go and you're going to do keto or paleo or Mediterranean or count your carbs or whatever, or this ridiculous time-restricted eating, which is nothing more than a low-calorie diet at the end of the day, even though they say, oh, you don't have to count calories? Well, no one on that is losing weight without... this is the medical proof. It's nonsense. But so is paleo or keto or Mediterranean or time-restricted eating. Listen, everyone, these are the medical facts. In 4 years, 86% of you are going to be overweight or obese, according to Johns Hopkins Medical School. In 4 years. Do you think if any of these, ask yourself a question. If any of these diets actually worked, they'd have $1 trillion company. Do you agree? Every year we add more and more diets, more and more schemes. But do any of them actually work? So Nikita or Christina, for example, Do you know on this, most women lose a whole dress size in a week with no exercise? They lose no water weight, and instead of losing any lean muscle, they gain 6 to 9% lean muscle. And there's no lotions, potions, pills. There's no products. It's food. But these researchers, they figured it out. They'd done over 20, they had done over 100 studies over 20 years. And they proved that no diet ever worked long term. As a matter of fact, 2/3 of you end up gaining more weight than you lost. So let's get into how did she do this? Okay, so the researchers put together the foods, and the criteria was really simple. The foods they picked had to have the highest level of nutrition, even though you were going to have less food. Because the problem is the body has no idea what calories are. The body only works on one principle, nutrition. And I see these people wanting to give you recipes. They don't mention one word about the nutritional density because they don't know it. This was invented by me. This was invented by the top weight loss nutrition researchers in the entire world, okay? So what they did, they put a grocery list together. You get for free, by the way, there's no charge. We hand you the grocery list. You go to the grocery store, proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables. But instead of giving you calorie amounts, they did serving sizes. You got this, everybody? Only 30% of what you would actually buy from your grocery store, period. That's it. The other 70% of your money would go to these other researchers who'd gone around the world to places like Russia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand, and Australia to get these foods with huge amounts of nutrition. Are any of these influencers telling you about that? Including some of these nutrients come from these blue zones where people live to be 100 years old. The rest of it's all nonsense. Whatever diet you're on or you're thinking about on, it doesn't work. Do you get it? This does. So now they had the two food groups that we're going to give to her. 30% from the grocery store, proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables, and 70% from these exotic foods around the world. Then they put together a new way of eating where they actually get a registered trademark, not somebody telling you, well, do intermittent fasting and you're going to lose weight. It's nonsense. It's just nonsense. This is backed by the U.S. Patent Office, for crying out loud. So 5 days a week, you'd have 4 meals a day. Imagine that, 4 meals a day. You'd start with these exotic foods. Millen, let me finish, okay? Here's what you do. Let me explain to you what you did, and then I'll tell you how you can get everything, okay? So first of all, 5 days a week, Millen, you'd have 4 meals a day. You'd start with these exotic foods for breakfast. Lunch from the grocery store list that you would get from us for free. Dinner from the grocery store list that you would get. And then your 4th meal from these exotic foods around the world. 5 days a week, 4 meals a day. That's called protein pacing. They got a registered trademark U.S. Patent Office on that. Then 2 days a week, listen to this, no food from the grocery store. Only these exotic foods around the world. But this time you eat 8 times a day. You're eating every hour and a half. Now, here's what separates this from all this nonsense, all this white noise you're hearing on social media without one shred of medical evidence. They did the most extensive medical research ever done on weight loss, nutrition, and health. Here's what they did. They did blood, stool, urine, fat analysis. They did liver enzymes. They did muscle composition. They did blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, triglycerides, and many other markers. And here's what they found. Number one, and here's what separates it from any diet you've been on. It is a detox. What? Yeah. Through blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis, they proved that this was helping the body remove chemicals that are stored inside our fat cells. No time-restricted eating has ever shown removing a gram of toxins from the. It's all nonsense. You can tell I'm very animated about it. It really makes me angry, okay? Because we're headed down this, we're headed for a disaster. And so on the other things they measured, never shown before in any diet, it also lowered inflammation, came down 25% a month. Hunger came down 40% in 30 days. People could not believe they weren't hungry. The diabetics on this, their need for insulin came down 41% in a month. Let me show you a diabetic right now. He's 65 years old, everybody. He lost 40 pounds in a month. You think time-restricted eating would do that? 40 pounds in a month? And look at his blood work. His A1C from 8.4 to 6.4, triglycerides 242 to 124. Now, someone's asking me, Dave, I'm just going to explain to you, intermittent fasting is a total bust. It's complete nonsense. Right here, I have it, the big studies. Here's Journal of American Medical Association. They did a 3-month study on that intermittent time-restricted fasting. We found that the overweight adults who routinely fasted 16 hours daily over a 3-month period of time gained no benefit, lost 2 to 3.5 pounds, and the weight they lost was lean muscle mass. When you're told you're burning fat, Dave, it's a total lie. You're born with a certain amount of fat cells. You die with a certain amount of fat cells. Go look it up. That horse manure about burning fat on any of these diets is total nonsense. Complete and utter nonsense. We have this protocol. Dave is published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world, like the Obesity Journal, Frontiers in Physiology, Nutrients Nutrition Journal, Frontiers in Nutrition, and Nature Communications, which is one of the top medical journal in the world. None of these influences have one shred of medical evidence. When you look at the evidence on whether it's intermittent fasting, with any of these things, they all never in history has there ever been one where people lost weight and kept it off long term. So that's all I can tell you. And they do nothing. There's no medical evidence. You got to understand, this is a detox. And we all, in case you didn't know, we're living in an unbelievably toxic world. We're drinking, we're breathing, we're eating chemicals, and the body's taking those chemicals, whether you know it or not, and stuffing them inside what's called your visceral. Look at his stomach on day 1, everybody. Look at his stomach on day 30. He's 65 years old. Now, no, weren't allowed to exercise. No one on these was allowed to exercise. And then if you look at Kristen, look at her stomach on day 1 and look at her stomach on day 30. Not only didn't they exercise, they wore Fitbits to prove they didn't exercise. This is going to change the world. There's nothing like this. I see these, they look like nice people, and they're coming on and they're drawing on a whiteboard, and you can buy their program and you get a big discount today. For what? They're giving you recipes. We give you free coaching. We don't have anything to sell. There's no products to buy. I mean, it just is so infuriating to think that we're now at this point where in 4 years, Johns Hopkins is saying, medical school, is saying 86% of you are going to be overweight or obese in 4 years. I know you're going to lose weight initially, whether it's intermittent fasting, count your carbs, macro. None of it works long term. None of it. You're just not aware of it. Maybe you had early success, you lost weight, and then you're going to gain it all back. But the weight you're losing, I can tell you this, the other thing. All the studies show that the weight you're losing on any of these diets, 25 to 40%, is your lean muscle mass. I mean, my God, you get, this is free. This is what they gave the patients in these huge studies. These are daily videos from the research, not from us. They're the people that created this, and they have no products to sell. They don't sell anything. There's no product to buy. It's food and a new way of eating. But, I mean, let me ask you this. And look at Andy, 45 pounds in 60 days. And then Ken over here, look at him, 34 pounds in 29 days. And the difference is, it's not just showing you a before and after. The results are published in these huge medical journals. What are you all doing? Why would you be doing something that has no medical backing? None. Zero. Look around America. That's all you have to do. Go to Walmart, Kmart, whatever today. Look at what's going on. I mean, I guess I shouldn't care so much, but I do. Look, none of you know me. It doesn't matter. I'm not trying to impress you. I've been 23 years a nutritional researcher. I've written 4 best-selling books from the biggest medical doctors in the world. I did 20 shows on PBS. I was interviewed on the 4 biggest daytime shows in America and did over 1,500 live lectures in hospitals and universities around the world. I was a keynote speaker at Autism One in Chicago 2 years in a row, the biggest autism conference in the world. Do you know, for 22 of my 23 years in the medical world, despite all that academia, you know what it meant in the medical world? Zero. Why? Because there were no published peer-reviewed human trial studies. This is the gold standard for medical research. No drug ever gets approved without a peer-reviewed human trial study. And yet you're listening to people that are giving you opinions. That's what you're doing. Do whatever you want to do, but it doesn't work. And you get, look at that, free coaching. The website, the New Health Conversation. Guess what's there? All the proof, all the medical proof, and it's free. As a matter of fact, if you go to that website, we won't even contact you. I'd love for anybody to comment, Darla or Mila, you were asking me about the list. You get all that from the coaches. You get it all. But we're not even going to contact you, Mila, until you go there. You get to see the medical proof. Our coaches aren't there to sell or convince you. They're there to educate you, answer your questions, show you how to do this, get you the grocery list. But only 30% of what you're going to buy is from your grocery store. Only 30% of the total food for the month. The other 70% comes, these other researchers aren't giving you foods from Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand, and from these blue zones where people are living to be 100 years old. I want to put that in my body. I don't know about all of you. Again, how can I help all of you? Please tell me. Put it in the chat. Do you think, even if you think that's fake or it's unhealthy to lose that much weight that fast, come on, let's have an interaction. I see these people coming on and they're answering these ridiculous questions. He's saying like, well, don't count calories, and for the 16 hours you only have water and black coffee. What a bunch of nonsense, because what you're losing on time-restricted eating, for example, is your lean muscle mass, 25 to 40%, as you are on all these diets. And none of this is my opinion. Here's a huge study titled The Grand Myth of Traditional Diets. This isn't my research, it's theirs. They said, traditional diets, be they low-fat, low-carb, keto, carnivore, macro counting, or this obsession with time-restricted eating, seduce millions with vows of dramatic weight loss and radiant health. But the brutal truth, etched in decades of unyielding scientific evidence, shatters this illusion. These diets deliver fleeting illusions of progress, followed by inevitable regain of all the weight, negligible long-term health benefits, and the hidden toll on your body, the crucial loss of 25 to 40% of your lean muscle mass, which slows down your metabolism and slows down your own immune system. That's what you're doing on these stupid diets. Again, should I be quiet? Should I just, well, you can try that if you want. No, you can't. Prove me wrong. Go on it, lose the weight, and gain it all back and say, that mad scientist, he was correct. Who is telling you the truth? Seriously, everybody. Who is telling you the truth about diets? You all know you settle for a half a pound a week on a diet. The least you're going to lose on this is 5 pounds a week. The least. And then it's sustainable. She lost 60 pounds in 3 months. That averaged 5 pounds a week for 3 months. And then Julie here, she lost 35 pounds in 37 days. That's almost a pound a day. Look at her body. You think that's Photoshop? Oh, they'll hold up a little picture on their phone and, look at this before and after. No medical proof. Just a bunch of nonsense, a bunch of hot air. Because what if they knew? What if those people that lost 50 pounds realized that 25 to 40% of what they're losing is their lean muscle mass? They're making themselves unhealthy by going on these stupid, crazy diets. They don't work. And it's not my opinion. They did an analysis of all the major diet groups. The study looked at low-fat, low-carb, keto, carnivore, macro counting, and time-restricted eating. In 12 months, you know what they found? Some of these diets on 12 months, at the end of 12 months, like, for example, a low-fat diet, people lost 11 pounds in 12 months. The most amount of weight anybody lost was about 16 pounds in a year, and 25 to 40% of what they lost, it didn't matter if it was low-fat, low-carb, keto, carnivore, macro counting, time-restricted eating. The 25 to 40% of what they were losing was lean muscle mass. This is a tragedy. It is a tragedy what's going on. We're telling you the truth based on medical proof, not hyperbole. There's no products to buy. We don't sell you anything. Hello? There's no lotions, potions, pills. Oh, you got to buy our program. There's no program to buy. Everything that we share with you was shared with us. We were coached. My God, the researchers, this is free. The blueprint for success is what they use in the medical trials. You get the daily videos from the researchers telling you this is why it's safe. Or do you want to follow somebody giving you opinions and they're selling you a program that you got to buy some? You're buying basically menus. You're buying basically a recipe, sorry. When are we going to wake up and say, you know what? I don't think what we're doing is working. Would anybody like to put in the chat for me a diet you think works? Please tell me. Any of you. And we got 676 likes. Can we get some more taps on that screen? I mean, it's so sad. So few people, they're flocking to this nonsense. They're flocking to something that doesn't work, can't work, has never worked. Look, everybody, unless you think we're lying, she lost 35 pounds in 37 days. Full stop. Look at her body composition change. It's not a diet. It has nothing to do with dieting. It has nothing to do with counting calories. It's based on 40 years of research, 100 studies, thousands of people, not somebody giving you opinions. I mean, it's totally up to you what you want to do. I get it. It's free world. Go do, if you want to count calories, if you want to do keto, paleo, none of them work. None of them work long term. Do you all believe that? Do you all know that? Hello, B. I mean, who would like to find out, hi, April, who would like to find out how she did this? Or let's go back to this one. This is normal. This is the minimum they're losing. It's about a little over 5 pounds a week and 38 inches. But you got to understand, in this case, she wasn't allowed to exercise. She lost no water weight and gained 6 to 9% lean muscle. So then rather than being a sales pitch, This is published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world. None of these other things you're seeing on the internet have any medical proof at all. Zero. Like this, fast for 16 hours, eat for 8. Total bunch of nonsense. There's not one shred of evidence backing up that it ever worked long term. As a matter of fact, it's harmful because even the Journal of the American Medical Association, they did a study on this time-restricted eating, and they said that the people over 3 months gained almost no benefit from it, and most of the weight they shed was lean muscle mass, not fat. They're telling you, we're going to show you how to burn fat in a month. No, you're not. That's a lie. You're born with a certain number of fat cells, you die with a certain number of fat cells, and they shrink or expand over your lifetime. That's it. So when they're telling you you're burning fat, run. It's already nonsense. It's already total hot air. So B or April, would anybody like to know how they did this? Or not? Or go do keto, paleo. None of these diets work. None of them. I mean, my God, I've even got people like let me read to you. This is Harvard Medical School, right? Harvard Medical School. Stop counting calories. The idea of a calorie in, calorie out when it comes to weight loss is not only antiquated, it's just wrong, says Fatima Stanford, obesity specialist, Harvard Medical School. Drop the calories notion, Stanford said. It's time to concentrate on what's in our food, not how much food we're consuming. Exactly. But this is not the only one. You think diets work, everybody? Do you really believe diets work? Here's Medicare, right? Medicare. Medicare's search for effective obesity treatments. Diets are not the answer. The authors reviewed studies of long-term outcomes of calorie-restricted diets to assess whether dieting is an effective treatment for obesity. The studies showed that 2/3 of dieters, no matter what the diet, regained more weight than they lost. So you're going on a diet, and 2/3 of you are going to end up, you're going to gain more weight than you lost. And yet you have a chance today to make a real difference for the rest of your life. This isn't a short-term solution. This isn't a diet which is always about a destination. I want to lose 20 pounds. Okay, great. So you lost 20 pounds. Now what? How do you keep it off? It's not happening, ladies and gentlemen. It's just so sad. We're the voice of reason. We're bringing you real medical proof. Again, I can't believe that no one wants to know how she did this. You just hear as observers. Do you want to know how she did it? Do you want to know how you, and we offer you a free website. Look, the New Health Conversation. It's 100% free. There's no gimmicks. There's no app store. There's no anything. You go there and see the medical proof, and if you like what you see, you get to decide. You get to scroll down and you get a free coach. The coaching's free. There's no charge for coaching. You got to buy some app to get a coach? Really? I mean, what are you all doing? What do you want to do? Do you want to believe medical science, which is, we've got 10, like I said, 10 peer-reviewed human trial studies, published in the 10 biggest journals in the world, or do you want to believe some nice person on social media giving you what? Opinions, giving you nonsense, giving you hot air. So again, OKS or Chef's Snack Bar or CA, Donna, CA, you must be in Canada, Seal Clubbing, Shop Phoenix. So again, who would like to know how, is this real? If you think it's fake, you're on the wrong podcast. Then go follow these influences that have no medical proof whatsoever. You have to understand that every study now, here's another one, why you shouldn't count calories. Not my opinion. This is from the top researchers saying, truth is calorie counting is a terrible approach for weight loss. While counting calories and restricting calories can help you lose weight in the short term, the approach has never been proven to keep weight off long term. What's even worse, 2/3 of people who try to count or restrict calories gain back more weight than they lost. All something like time-restricted eating is a low-calorie diet. Don't kid yourself. But the problem with that, your body has no idea what a calorie is. It doesn't count calories. The whole diet thing is upside down and backwards. So again, I'd love for anybody to ask me, do you want to know how they did this or not? I'm flabbergasted. Are you all not saying it because you think this is fake or it's unhealthy to lose that much weight that fast on a diet? It would be on a diet if this was a diet. It's not a diet. We're here giving you the truth. We're here sharing with you real medical results. I saw this morning, I was on, and they're on yakking about the fact that you can do this program and you buy their 6-month or their 12-month program. Number one, this comes in the first month with a 100% money back guarantee. Hello? And we don't sell you anything. Let me clarify that. 30% of what you would buy in this, you buy from your grocery store, so they're not going to give you a refund. But the other 70% of the food, which comes from around the world, from Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand, they'll give you all your money back in the first 30 days. Try and do that on these other things they're trying to sell you 6 months or 12 months. Look, you're going to know on this in about a week, just to let you know. But let's say you did a month and it didn't work. They'll give you all your money back. I mean, well, 70% of what you spent. So again, who would like to know how she did this? I don't want to just talk to myself. I mean, I guess I do sometimes, I suppose. But who would like to know how they did this? Or look at her, 35 pounds in 37 days. Or April, 60 pounds in 3 months. Look at her face, look at her arms, look at her body. 60 pounds in 3 months. Hello, everybody? Michelle Newell, I want to know. Okay, great. Thank you, Michelle. All right. So let's talk about a few things. Number one, there's nothing to buy here other than food. You buy nothing from us, okay? Everything I'm sharing with you is published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world. It's safe, it's proven. It's not an opinion which you're getting from these other people. I don't care what before and after they're holding up. Where's their medical proof? They don't have one shred of medical evidence, right? So the researchers who created this, Michelle, had gone 100, Terry's Beauty Shop. No, it's not called fasting at all, Terry. As a matter of fact, you're 1,000,000% wrong. Okay, so don't interject. I didn't even get a chance to explain it yet. So let me explain it first, and then you can make a comment if you want, all right? So, first of all, it was developed not by an opinion. It was developed by the top weight loss researchers in the world who'd done 100 studies over 40 years, thousands of people proving that fasting, time restrict, none of these diets ever work long term, ever. And they said the fallacy was that people were concentrating either on, well, they were concentrating on calorie counting, and the human body has no idea what a calorie even is. So there's no calorie counting on this at all. There's no products to buy. You're going to buy food. And the researchers put the foods together. They're the top weight loss nutrition researchers in the world. I trust them. So what they did, they went and found foods where they could give you less food by quantity, but more nutrition, not fasting. Okay, forget that. Only 30% of what she ingested. So 30% of what she spent at the grocery store. The other 70%, here's what separates it from everything else. From other researchers who'd gone around the world for 20 years, and they'd gone to Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand to find foods with huge amounts of nutrition and small amounts of food. So that's what she was going to eat. Then they invented a new way of eating called protein pacing, where 5 days a week she had 4 meals a day. She started with these exotic foods from around the world, which you can't buy at your grocery store. Lunch from the grocery store, dinner from the grocery store, and a fourth meal after dinner, these exotic foods around the world. Then 2 days a week, she did something, don't flip out when I tell you this, where there was no food from the grocery store, only these exotic foods around the world, but this time she ate 8 times a day. And that's called intermittent nutritional fasting. Not fasting, not water fasting, not time-restricted eating. It was fasting with nutrition. Now, what did they prove? For example, the diabetics on this, no one had insulin spikes. But the other thing that's so different about this, it's the most comprehensive medical analysis of any weight loss diet or health program in history. They did blood, stool, urine, fat analysis. They did liver enzymes. They did body composition. They did blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, triglycerides, and even neurological brain measurements. What they found is that this is a detox. No fast, no anything has ever produced a gram of toxin leaving the body until now. And they proved that through blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis, this was detoxing. Look at her stomach on day 1. That's from what we're doing. We're drinking, breathing, eating chemicals, whether you believe it or not. And the body then, to protect us, takes the chemical and stuffs it in your fat cells. It's called your visceral fat. That's the fat around your organs. That's why you all complain to us, not just about how much weight, but how much fat you have on your body. And the bloating that you experience. It's because your body is trying to protect you by storing the chemicals in your fat cells. This protocol is proven to remove those chemicals from your fat cells. And she lost no water weight. They measured it. She gained 6 to 9% lean muscle with no exercise. All the people I'm showing you, also the biggest part of this is being able to maintain. She lost the weight 8 or 9 years ago, has kept it off. I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks. 23 years ago, I've kept it off for 23 years. And all these people, it's the same. When you look at April, 60 pounds in 3 months, 60 pounds. Look at her face, look at her arms, look at her body. That is not photoshopped in any way. And then look at this, a 65-year-old man, 40 pounds in a month, 52 inches. Look at his A1C. Here's the big news here, is the medical improvement. Look, A1C 8.4 to 6.4, triglycerides, 242 to 124 in 30 days. This has never been seen before. And he's been able to keep it off. Look at his stomach on day 1. Look at his stomach on day 30. That's with no exercise. They actually wear Fitbits to prove they didn't exercise because Not that the researchers were against exercise, but if they would have done exercise, then you would say, well, they lost weight because it was diet and exercise. No, it wasn't. Now, let me tell you about maintenance, about how easy it is. Maintenance every morning, like this morning, I already had these exotic nutrients from around the world. I'm going to have lunch in a couple hours, dinner tonight, and then every couple of months, I'll do another 48 hours intermittent nutritional fasting. I mean, once I lost my weight, I've kept it off for 23 years. You think anybody would like to tell me a diet you think that would make up with this? Yeah, fasting makes me go up in weight. Exactly, exactly. Do you know why? Because people don't understand that whether it's fasting or whatever, 25 to 40% of what you're losing is your lean muscle mass, Michelle, which then slows down your metabolism. The body, you got to understand, when you lose lean muscle, the brain has no choice. It slows your metabolism down, and it slows down your immune system. So the very thing you think you're doing is making you unhealthy. This is crazy, crazy talk that these people have. Crazy. So again, I know we have new people coming on. Who would like to, again, so Michelle, does that make sense? And for all of you, you can see right there, Michelle, look, the new health conversation. That's a free, let me show all of you. You can go to Google. It's totally free, no charge. It's the new health conversation. That's the website. The only thing there is the medical proof, as you'll see in 1 second. Then you go the link, and there's the website. There's nothing on that site except the medical evidence, including number one, an exclusive podcast with the number one weight loss nutrition physiologist in the world. I hope you'd want to listen to him instead of someone on social media giving you with no credentials. Oh, I'm a health coach. Or you are? What are your credentials? What medical research have you done? None. Zero. Opinions. Don't show me before and afters with no medical proof behind it. It means nothing. And I'm not even saying they Photoshop, but they don't. There's no way. You have to understand that any of these people losing weight, 25 to 40% of the lean muscle. Listen, you want to know about a disaster? Go to Netflix and watch the documentary now, The Biggest Loser, where those people, they were on 600 or 800, they lost 200 pounds. They've gained back 250. They've made themselves unhealthy for the rest of their lives. You're all doing the same thing on these crazy diets. I'm not sure, Mishu, I'm not how to pronounce your name, the Dark J Arts. So Mishu, does that make sense? And you understand you can go to the new health conversation, see the medical proof, and if you like what you see, listen to this. Free coaching, free. How much is the coaching? Free. What does it cost? Zero. These other people want to charge you for apps or recipes. Really? Really, 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 really. And they got hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of people falling for this scam. There's no, unless you got peer-reviewed human trial studies, it's nonsense. It's just total nonsense. And the people are lining up. I saw them this morning signing up for the program. Oh, do the 6 months or do the year. This comes with a 100% money-back guarantee in the first 30 days. Did you hear me? 100% money-back guarantee in the first 30 days on the 70% of the food you're buying from around the world. Who's doing that for you? Are they going to refund your money when you buy this crazy? I mean, this is just, it's just total insanity. So Mish, you understand, you can go to that website. We won't contact you, and then you can get a coach if you want. So Mish, what do you think about this so far? Give me your comment. Another one, Mish, how excited would you be if you could lose 20 pounds in a month and gain 6 to 9? Oh, I didn't even tell you the best part, Mish and everybody else. The women on this, in the first week, in 7 days, minimum, they lose a whole dress size in a week. I mean, you can see in her, look at her, 35 pounds in 37 days. Look at her body, from her legs, her waist. Look at how much she shrank. That's the detox. No diet's going to do that. Where's her loose skin? Or, my God, this lady here, 200 pounds in a year. 200. And she's kept it off. Where's the loose skin everywhere? Now, you can think it's Photoshopped. And if you do, you're on the wrong podcast. Go follow these influencers that have no medical proof at all. Nothing but chatter. Chatter. Oh, this is it, Doug. Fast for 16 hours and eat for 8. Nonsense. Nonsense. There's no diet. Do you understand there's never been a diet where people kept weight off long term and 2/3 of people are gaining more weight than they lost? But look at the numbers. 1995 to 2025. The rates of obesity in the United States have doubled. We have more diets than ever. Listen, we're coming up on the famous January 1st New Year's resolutions. Why do we continue to add new diets every year if any of the old diets actually worked? Ask yourself that question. You're smart enough to figure it out. No, you've never been challenged before. Who's telling you the truth? Who's the canary in the coal mine? I guess I am. Oh my God, I get the pushback. You should hear what they say about me. It's okay. But see, the thing I have on my side that nobody else does, there's 10 published peer-reviewed human trial studies. That makes what I'm saying irrefutable proof, not an opinion. Everything else you're seeing on social media is an opinion. Why are you entrusting your health and your weight and your life to opinions? Why are you doing that? Because you are. Unless someone can show me anybody on social media with one shred of medical evidence, who would it be? And we got 767 likes. Let's get some more. So Miss Chanel, and everybody, I want you to understand, right above her head in the New Health Conversation, that's a website. It's free to go there. And the only thing there is the medical proof. We're not going to contact you if you go there. Why should we? You have the medical proof. If that doesn't convince you, then we're not going to waste our time trying to convince you or sell you. But the coaches will answer all your questions. They'll show you how to order 30% of your food from the grocery store. You buy directly from the grocery store. And the other 70% of what you're going to spend, you buy directly from these researchers who've gone to Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand to bring back these foods with huge amounts of nutrition that you can't buy in your grocery store. There's no equivalent to this on the planet. I mean, look, even Andy, he's a younger guy, 45 pounds and 60 inches in 30 days. But look at his A1C from 7.9 to 6.2, LDL 120 to 59. Who else is showing? Hello, Pansy. Hello, Jenny. Hello, Thomas. Again, do you all think, I'm just curious, any of the people that are coming on and they stay for like 2 seconds, is it like not your, do you think it's fake? Do you think we're photoshopping? Do you think it's wrong? Are you willing to take the chance that this is real? And you're dismissing it because of your skepticism, which I support. But my God, did you really think forever that someone wasn't going to figure out how in the world we have 2.5 billion people worldwide overweight and 1 billion of those are clinically obese? In the United States, in 4 years, they estimate 86% of you will be overweight or obese, and 50% of those will be pre-diabetic. Now, what about the shots, everybody? Number one, we're not against the shots, but let's look at the medical proof, okay? Now, remember, everything I'm sharing with you is in the public domain. You can go look it up. So the New England Journal of Medicine, this was a 68-week study. That's a year and 4 months. The weight loss after 68 weeks on semaglutide was 32 pounds, and of the 32 pounds people lost, 40% was lean muscle mass. This is the New England Journal of Medicine. So when I tell you, I don't care what diet you're on, 25 to 40% of what you're losing is lean muscle mass. Those are not my opinions. In this another big study that they published, it's called The Grand Myth of Traditional Diets, a devastating cycle of failure and false promises. This is what the researchers are saying now. Traditional diets, be they low-fat, low-carb, keto, carnivore, macro-cutting obsessions, or the latest fad, this time-restricted eating, seduce millions with vows of dramatic weight loss and radiant health. These diets deliver fleeting illusions of progress, followed by inevitable regain of all the weight, negligible long-term medical benefits, and the hidden toll of your body to lose the crucially important lean muscle mass, 25 to 40%, which slows down your metabolism and slows down your own immune system. So the very diets you're on are slowing down your own immune system. Does that sound like a good strategy? We're not arguing that you're going to lose weight on any of these things, but it's the wrong kind of weight. I mean, they did a summary. And they looked at all the studies across low-fat diets, low-carb diets, keto diets, carnivore diets, macro counting, and time-restricted eating. Do you know that on some of these diets in a year's time, people only lost 11 pounds, and the most amount of weight loss anybody lost in a year was 16 pounds, and 25 to 40% of the weight loss was lean muscle mass, despite what these people are telling you online? You see them, they're on there, they're telling you about all this great burning fat. Huge lie. You're born with a certain number of fat cells. You die with a certain number of fat cells. No diet or exercise program causes you to burn fat. It's a medical impossibility. I mean, again, you all have a chance to really hit the reset button. From the Caribbean. Oh, cool. They don't. The only way that they can get it to the Caribbean is if you have relatives that'll bring it, or you have a reshipper like out of Miami. I'm sorry, I don't have anything to do with these exotic foods around the world. They're only available in certain areas like the United States, Canada, Mexico, Puerto Rico. They're available in the EU, Australia, New Zealand. That's it. It's not available in the Caribbean. It's not available in South America. It's not available in Africa. But there are people that live in the Caribbean who apparently are able to reship from Miami. So if you can do that, that would be great. Otherwise, I don't want to disappoint you and get you all excited. You think you can do this, and yet you can't get the, because these exotic foods, they're not available in the Caribbean. It's not anything, your food is great there, but it doesn't have these nutrients that come from Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand. These elements just don't exist except in these rare exceptions in these remote areas of the world, okay? So that's what makes this so different. So who else would like to ask me a question about how did she do this? Well, let me ask any of you. If you could lose 5 pounds a week, and by the way, she lost no water weight and gained 6 to 9% lean muscle mass. Is it, when you all see this, 35 pounds in 37 days, I'm curious, any of the people that are scrolling, if you put in the chat, is your first reaction that this is fake? I want to know. It'll help me out because we want to try and help as many people as we can. But you're the audience. You're the ones that are making a decision. Is this intriguing to you? Is it fake? Is it not real? Is it unsafe? Whatever. What is your opinion? I'd love for anybody to put it in the chat for me. Or you're curious and want to know how the hell did they do this? Look at that. She lost about 7 pounds a week. 7 pounds a week, not 7 pounds a month. And again, the thing that makes this so different, it's the only one in the world that's backed by 10 peer-reviewed human trial studies. I don't know what else to tell you other than that. So of the new people on here, who would like to know how it's possible, medically proven, to lose 5 pounds a week? I mean, look at her. She lost 60 pounds in 3 months. That's 5 pounds a week for 3 straight months. So this isn't a flash in the pan where you lose weight the first week and then it stops. No, it doesn't work like that. Because this is not a diet. It has nothing to do with dieting. It has nothing to do with counting calories. It's a revolutionary new protocol. And the coaching's free. You're not buying an app. You got to buy an app to get recipes. Really? Really? I mean, it's so crazy. Here we are giving you the free medical proof. And you get to go to that website for free, and there's nothing to buy there. We won't even contact you. But if you go there and you like what you see, then you can get a free coach. Darn, did I not plug in my battery? Hold on. I got to plug my computer in. Sorry, everybody, I'm back. So who else would like to ask me a question about how is this possible? Is it fake? Is it real? Is it Memorex? Is it photoshopped? Is it hacked? No, it's real. And again, I want to say it for the 50th time. The difference with this, it's proven and published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world. Everybody else you're following on social media, I can't find one person that has one shred of medical evidence. One shred. Who would it be? But yet you're all following them. I see you dropping off. I see you, people come on and then they get off. I guess you don't believe that it's real. Because if you believed it's real, you sure as heck want to know, how did they do this? And you get free coaching. Free. How much is the coaching? Free. How much is the consultation? Free. And it's the only medical proof on all of social media. And yet people they're not staying on long enough even to let me explain to them, how did they do this? It's not a diet. It's not about counting calories. It's totally unique, developed by the top weight loss researchers in the world, rated the top people. They did 100 studies over 40 years to discover this. And there's no products to buy. It's food. It's 30% of the food from your grocery store and 70% from these exotic foods you can't buy at your grocery store. They come from Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand. And then they invented a new way of eating, where 5 days a week you're going to have 4 meals a day, and 2 days a week you're going to eat 8 times a day, only no food from your grocery store, only these exotic foods from around the world. And what were the results? Well, you see it there. By the way, she lost no water weight and gained 6 to 9% lean muscle mass. Wow, we're at 1,000 likes. Thank you, B. Thank you, Michelle. So who else would like to ask me a question? Of the new people coming on who stay for like 2 seconds though, aren't you curious? Aren't you? How is that possible? Is it real? Is it fake? But she's not the only one. I mean, it's so crazy when you think about Julie really lost 35 pounds in 37 days. And you can see she wasn't that big. But look at how much her body shrank, everybody. Women on this lose a whole dress size in the first week. 7 days, a whole dress size. Men, 2 to 4 inches off their waist in a week. I lost 8 inches off my waist in 14 days. 23 years ago, I've kept it off. I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks, 23 years ago, I've kept it off. One of the main components of this is the sustainability. You're going on all these diets, 2/3 you're going to weigh more than you did when you started. I don't care if it's especially fasting, time-restricted eating. No, the studies say, for example, in this time-restricted eating, the majority, pretty much what you're losing is lean muscle mass. Up to 40% of whatever pounds, if you lose 10 pounds, 4 pounds, are lean muscle mass. That slows down your metabolism. That's why you're going to gain all the weight back. Same thing's happening on the shots. Talk to anybody on the shots. They come off the shot, they're gaining as much as half a pound a day. And I'm not against the shots. They're helping diabetics. They're helping people who are morbidly obese. But when you compare the results of the shots to, for example, so in other words, this is the least amount that people lose in about 5 pounds a week. How many of you would be excited about that? But they're keeping it off. That picture's 8 or 9 years old. She's kept the weight off for 8 or 9 years. Please, someone put in the chat, I want to know how they did this. Or not. I don't want to tell you if you don't want to know, but why aren't you curious? Why aren't you, if you're on here right now, why aren't you curious about how in the world is this possible? Or a 65-year-old man loses 40 pounds and 52 inches in 30 days? And then a young Andy, 45 pounds and 60 inches. But look at his blood work. His A1C from 7.9 to 6.2. His triglycerides 120. Queen, I want to know. Okay. Thank you. So let's talk about it. So first of all, let's take out all the chatter. Let's take me out of the conversation because I didn't do the research. Who did? They're rated Queen Bathsheba. Is that right? Beersheba. Okay, I got it right. Sorry. It was developed by the top weight loss nutrition research, physiologists in the world. They'd done 100 studies over 40 years, thousands of people, Queen, and determined one thing. People always lost weight no matter what the diet was. But 2/3 of everybody gained back more weight than they lost. Not just coming back to where they started, but any more than they did. And they said the main fallacy of all diets are based on the principle, essentially they call it calorie counting, but your body has no idea what a calorie is. All you're really doing is reducing the quantity of food you're consuming. And what they never tell you, when you reduce the amount of food you're eating, you're also reducing the amount of nutrition. And your brain thinks when there's not enough nutrition, because you're alive because of air, water, and nutrition, nothing to do with calories. Your body can't count a calorie. It doesn't get, so in this protocol, there's no calorie counting at all. They don't want you to count calories. So what the researchers said, the key to life would be, can we find foods, where we could give you less quantity of food, but more nutrition? And they went and sought those foods out. So the good news is 30% of the dollars you spent last month, you'd actually go to your grocery store with a grocery list for free. You get it from our coaches. Proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables. You got it? But instead of giving you calorie amounts, they're giving you serving sizes, okay? So if it's a protein, it's how many ounces. If it's vegetables, it's 1/3 or half a cup, okay? Then the other 70% of what you would buy of the dollars you actually have left would be from these other researchers who've gone around the world to Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand to find foods with huge amounts of nutrition, but smaller quantities of food. Got it? Then they invented a new way of eating. Yeah, a new way of eating. They actually got a registered trademark, U.S. Patent Office, and it's called protein pacing. So 5 days a week, you'd be having, Queen, 4 meals a day. Try this on a diet, 4 meals. You start in the morning, breakfast, these exotic foods from around the world. Lunch from the grocery store, dinner from the grocery store, and a 4th meal after dinner. Not optional. You got to have 4 meals a day. That's until you lose the weight, okay? Then 2 days a week, no food from the grocery store, only these exotic foods from around the world, but this time you eat them 8 times a day. You're eating every hour and a half for 2 hours. Listen, the diabetics on this, no one had insulin spikes. We have people weigh 500 pounds, they weren't hungry. If I can teach you nothing else, your hunger has never come from lack of calories. Your body has no idea what a calorie is. It doesn't count calories. It doesn't give a damn about a calorie. It's one of the most ridiculous things we ever came up with was counting calories. So what they also did, they did the most expensive medical research ever done on weight loss, nutrition, or health program ever in history. Here's all the things they looked at. They did blood, stool, urine, fat analysis. They did liver enzymes. They did body composition. They did blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, triglycerides. They even did brain, what's called cognitive ability in the brain. And here's what they found. The main thing about this, Queen, it's a detox. They absolutely proved unequivocally this was assisting the body in removing herbicides and pesticides and Scotchgard and Teflon, which you may not be aware you're storing inside your fat cells, specifically what's called your visceral fat. That's the fat around your organs, okay? They proved that this was removing the chemicals. Look at her stomach on day 1. That's with no exercise, by the way, Queen. And then look at her stomach on day 30. Most women on this, including you, would lose a whole dress size in just the first week. How much would that excite you? But that's the tip. So detox is number 1. Number 2, for the first time in history, they proved this lowered inflammation. Inflammation came down 25% in a month. No diet's ever produced anything even close to this. I don't care if it's fasting, intermittent fasting, none, 0. Third thing, hunger came down 40%. Blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, triglycerides all came down dramatically. The diabetics on this, the need for insulin, which is what a diabetic measures, it came down 41% in a month, never ever seen before. But the key to this also was maintenance. She lost the weight 8 or 9 years ago. She's kept it off for 8 or 9 years. And that's that simple or that complicated. Also, if you do it for free, you get, this is what they gave the patients in the studies. It's called the Blueprint for Success. It's 100% free. Those are all daily videos from the researchers explaining, well, you get the food list, everything is included. It's all free. The only thing you're buying is food from the grocery store and buying food from these other, not from us, not from the coaches, or not from the researchers who put this together. But one thing I should tell you is this, that it's 30% of whatever you spent last month you're going to buy from the grocery store. The other 70% will buy those other exotic foods. Those researchers, in the first month, let's say it doesn't work, they'll give you all your money back. You think you're getting that when they're selling you an app for, time-restricted eating. It's not even in the same zip code. Now, nothing's 100%, but do you think she wants a refund after losing 21 pounds and 38 inches in a month? I mean, I know it sounds too good to be true, but it really is. And we're the only people on all of social media with medical proof. Look, these results are published in 10 of the biggest medical studies in the world. I'm going to show you all the website right now that's free to go there and we won't even contact you. You go to Google, type in the new, it's got to be the new health conversation. It'll take you to the link in Google. Hold on just one. There it is. Click on there and it'll take you right to the website. There it is. There's nothing to buy on that website. The only thing there is the medical proof, including number 1, an exclusive podcast with the number 1 weight loss nutrition physiologist in the world. He and his team invented this. Number 3, the actual medical studies you can go and see. If you go to that website, we will not contact you. No, we don't do that because we let the medical proof do the talking. And then if you like what you see, notice free coaching. Now, the coaching includes your consultation, and they'll coach you all the way through in terms of teaching you how to do maintenance. Guess how much the coaching is? 0. Guess how much the consultation is? 0. Guess how much the Blueprint for Success costs? 0. We all got coached. This is going to change the world, and what's happening is a lot of people are going on this. They're having amazing results, and their friends or family are asking them about it, and then they're helping us out by coaching because they've already done it, and because really this Blueprint for Success is literally your virtual coach, although you have a live coach and they'll talk to you every single day if you want. They'll text you, call you, email you, whatever you want to do. I know it sounds too good to be true, but it isn't because we've done it. In 23 years, we've helped over 500,000 people lose somewhere around 10 million pounds. Yeah, think about that, 500,000 people. And it's the only system in the world backed by published in 10 peer-reviewed human trial medical studies. And these are the biggest medical journals in the world, like the Obesity Journal, Frontiers in Physiology, Nutrients, Nutrition Journal, Frontiers in Nutrition, Nature Communications, and several more. Nobody else has this. Nobody. You're following people, they seem like nice people that are giving you opinions. They have no credibility whatsoever that I can. In terms of credibility, I mean, they have no medical proof. They're giving you an opinion. Opinion doesn't matter. You're buying a 6-month program of what? Why don't they just give you a 100% money back guarantee in the first month when you find out it doesn't work? Yeah, they're holding up pictures, people as 40, 50 pounds. I'm not impressed. There's no medical proof. And if they were honest, which they're not, they'd tell you that 40 to 50, 30, 25 to 40% of what those people are losing in all those before and afters is a lean muscle mass, which is slowing down their own immune system, making them unhealthy. Yes, ma'am. Yes, everybody. Good, Queen Beersheba. Great, great. But so you understand, tell me you do, Queen. You go, see the website, the New Health Conversation. And you understand if we go there, just give me a yes. We won't contact you, but you can scroll down and get a free coach if that's what you want to do. I just want to make sure that everybody understands. The website is free to go to. There's nothing to buy there. The only thing on there is the medical proof. So who else would like to ask a question of the new people that are still on or have come on, gone up? Well, we got 2,100 likes. I'm not that disappointed, even though we haven't had a lot of people. But we look at it this way. If we have one person on here that we could, like Queen, if we can make a difference in your life, then it's worth it. We've helped so many people. Before COVID, I had lectured over 1,500 times around the world in hospitals and universities and towns. I appeared on PBS 20 different times. I was interviewed on the 4 biggest daytime shows in America, and I was a keynote at Autism One in Chicago 2 years in a row, the biggest autism conference in the world. And I'm not telling you that to impress you. I'm telling you this, that for 21 or 22 years of my career in the medical world, all these before and after, you know what it meant in the medical world? Zero. And that's the problem. You're all following these nice people, influencers, without one shred of medical evidence. Oh, they're writing on a whiteboard and they're telling you about what's pot. But if it was that good, they'd want to have a peer-reviewed human trial study, which they don't have. It's the biggest scam on the planet, is this whole diet industry. Basically, there's no diet ever studied where people lost weight and kept it off long term. Or it would be an infinitesimally small number of people that ever were able to maintain what they lost. Look, every year we come out with new diets. Ask yourself, if any of the old diets, why are you doing these old diets? Because you're waiting until January, until a new diet comes out around Christmas time, the new South Beach, North Beach, South Beach, banana diet, whatever the hell it is. None of them work. In 1964, about 10 to 15% of America was overweight or obese. In 4 years, Johns Hopkins Medical School estimates nearly 90% of you will be overweight or obese in 4 years. You can do the math yourself. That's over a 525% increase, 5 times more people overweight and obese than in 1964. And we have more diets than ever. I'd love for anybody to tell me a diet you think that works long term. What would it be? I see lots of people coming on here and no one's sticking. Do you not want to know how she did this? Do you want to think, why aren't people staying? Maybe they don't like me. I can't do anything about that. I'm me, that's it. I'm a nutritional researcher for 23 years and I'm just bringing you the truth and I'm bringing you real medical proof. Now, if that's not good enough, then I guess go do whatever you're going to do, but it's not going to work. That may make you mad. I hope it does, that you at least are inspired enough to go to the website and see the medical proof. There's nothing on that website to buy. We won't even contact you. If you go to see it right there, visit the New Health Conversation. Can everybody see that website? It's free to go there. So who else would like to ask me a question? We're right now at a little bit over an hour. I've got to go in about another 10 or 15 minutes or less, and then I'll come back on, let's say, by 11:30 Eastern Standard Time today. I try and do 4 or 5 of these a day if my voice will hold up as far as podcasts, as we continue to build our audience, because we're competing with this mainstream stuff that has no medical proof at all. I will tell you this, of the people who go to the website, I'd say almost 100% of them end up doing the protocol. By the way, the protocol the first 30 days comes, 30% you buy from your grocery store. They're not going to give you your money back. But the other 70% you're spending, they give you unequivocal 100% of your money back guarantee in the first month, no questions asked. What's your risk, everybody? 100% money back guarantee on 70%. And you're not buying anything from us. We don't have any products. There's no products. You're buying food. Either 30% from your grocery store, whatever you spent last month on groceries. Excuse me, take 30%, that's about what you're going to spend at the grocery store. The other 70% goes to buy these exotic foods from around the world, from Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand, that represent nutrients you can't get, even organic, in your grocery store. I don't care where you are in the world. And some of these nutrients come from these blue zones where people living to be 100 years old. I certainly want to put those in my body every single day. And the key to this is maintenance. The fact she's kept the weight up for 8 or 9 years. I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks 23 years ago. I've kept it off for 23 years. So who else? Wow, we got 3,000 likes now. Great. Thank you all for tapping on the screen. So 7 days a week, or Mike, Kiana, or Ms., or Sony, any of you, do you want to know how she did this or not? Or do you want to believe the false promises of these people on social media? When I say false promise, they don't have any medical proof. You see, if any of these things worked, you'd want to have a peer-reviewed human trial study. Why? Because then it would be accepted in the medical world. And number two, it's irrefutable medical proof. Then you have the assurance it's safe and it really works. They're making proclamations with no proof. We're only quoting from these peer-reviewed human trial studies, from the actual results. The main reason to do this is not to lose weight. The main reason to do this is to detoxify your body. As a matter of fact, all of you need to understand, you all suffer from this medical syndrome called TDOS. What's it stand for? The T is for the toxins that are deposited in your fat cells, caused by the lack of nutrition in our food, causing you to be overweight and stress. And it's a registered trademark, U.S. Patent Office, Invented by, who discovered it? Peter Greenlaw. Oh, that's me. I did discover it. This is a registered trademark of a new medical syndrome. You might want to pay attention to what we're talking about, because no diet has any impact on removing anything from your fat cells, the toxins that we're all storing. That's why you have so much fat on your body. At least that's what people complain to us about if they need 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 pounds. It's not just the weight, it's how much fat they have. Does that make sense to everybody? So who else would like to ask me a question? We're at 3,200 likes. Let's get some more taps on that screen. So June joined, user 355, Cora Love joined. Who else would like to know? Would any of you like? Are any of you curious? Are you at least curious? How did she lose 21 pounds in a month? It's a month and 38 inches, and she's kept it off for 8 or 9 years. She lost no water weight and gained 6 to 9% lean muscle mass and wasn't allowed to exercise. I mean, the rest of this stuff is just nonsense on social media. I'm sorry. There's nothing out there. I mean, again, everybody, look at this. 200 pounds in a year. 200 pounds. Where's the loose skin? Yes, Cora, I'll explain it to you right now. Okay, so Cora and everybody else, thanks for that, Cora. At least I feel like I'm earning my keep here, right? So Cora, first, who invented this? It was invented by the top, they're rated the top weight loss nutrition physiologists in the world, okay? They had done 100 studies, Cora, over 40 years, analyzing about every diet out there. And here's what they found. On every diet, everybody lost weight. But on every diet, 2/3 of everybody gained back more weight than they lost. They never saw a diet where people pretty much lost weight and ever kept it off after 40 years. So they said something's wrong with dieting. And the main thing that's wrong with dieting is the whole mentality around counting calories. Your body has no idea what a calorie is. I didn't know what calories were 24 years ago. Do you know what the medical definition of a calorie is? It doesn't matter. I don't want to make you feel bad. I'm telling you, your body has no idea what calories are. So the researchers said we got to eliminate calorie counting altogether. So the program they put together was based on the reason we're alive is because of 3 things: air, water, and not calories, but nutrition. When your brain senses, when you go on a diet, Cora, this is why diets can't possibly work. As you lower, all a diet is, you're reducing the amount of food you're consuming. I don't care what the name of the diet is, right? Or you're doing something like low carb, then you're eliminating carbohydrates, which you actually need, all right? So when you lower the amount of food and lower the amount of nutrition, the brain senses there's not enough fuel to run your organs, because your organs run not on calories, they run on nutrition. And when that happens, what the brain does, it immediately stops accessing the fuel inside your fat cell. Now, let me be clear. When these people tell you you're burning fat on a diet or exercise, complete lie. You're born with a certain number of fat cells, you die with a certain number of fat cells, and your fat cells over your lifetime can expand or contract. And sadly, we're living in such a toxic world now, herbicides, pesticides, all these things that are in our daily lives, as they enter our body, which they do, the body takes the chemical and stuffs it in our fat cells, and that's why people complain about not just how much weight they've gained, but how much fat. The researchers knew that. They said, we're going to create something that will allow the body to get these chemicals out. That was the theory. So they put together a food list for her, not based on calories, based on serving sizes and foods that had one principle, the highest level of nutrition. So you'd get a list free. You'd take it to your grocery store. Proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables. Got it? But only 30%, whatever you spent last month, take 30% of those dollars. That's all you're going to spend this month for the month's worth of food. The other 70% of the food you don't buy from your grocery store. You buy from these other researchers, not us. We have nothing to sell. We don't sell you anything. But these other researchers have gone around the world to Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand to find these foods with huge amounts of nutrition, but smaller quantities of food. So now they had the food you were going to eat. 30% from your grocery store, and 70% from these exotic foods around the world. Then what they did, they invented a new way of eating that we would teach you. It's called protein pacing. It's so powerful, the U.S. Patent Office granted them a registered trademark for this new way of eating. 5 days a week, you'd have 4 meals a day. Yes, 4 meals a day. You'd start with these exotic foods around the world that the researchers have called the world's most perfect meals from a nutritional standpoint. There's so much nutrition in these foods, unless you're on a doctor's prescription for low iron or calcium, you need no supplements. There's no supplements on this. It's the food itself that has the nutrients that we need. That's the way that nature intended it to be, right? So, 5 days a week, you start with the world's most perfect meal. Lunch from the grocery store list, which you have, dinner from the grocery store list, and a fourth meal after dinner, the world's most perfect meal. Got it? So 5 days a week, you're going to eat 4 times a day until you lose your weight. 2 days a week, no food from the grocery store, only these exotic foods around the world. This time, you're going to eat 8 times a day. Yeah, you're going to eat about every hour and a half or 2 hours. For example, diabetics on this, there were no insulin spikes. People that weighed 500 pounds were not hungry. See, your hunger does not come from lack of calories. Your hunger comes from only one thing, and it's lack of nutrition. And when you don't have enough nutrition, the brain thinks you're starving to death, and it will convert your muscles into fuel, slowing down your metabolism, and it slows down your own immune system. So you're literally making yourself unhealthy by any of these diets, okay? Now, the research that was done, the analysis, is the most comprehensive medical research ever done on a weight loss, nutrition, or health program ever. This is a health system, but the number one thing they measured, they did blood, stool, urine, fat analysis. They did blood sugar, blood pressure, cholesterol, triglycerides, enzymes, body composition, the whole thing. But the number one thing they proved, this is removing chemicals from the body. It was the detox. Number 2, for the first time ever, inflammation, which is the underlying cause of every disease out there, it came down 25% in a month. People's hunger came down 40% in a month. And blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, triglycerides, all came down dramatically just in 30 days. Most women in the first week, in 7 days, dropped a whole dress size. Men lost 2 to 4 inches off their waist in a week because it's a detox. Look at her stomach on day 1. Look at her stomach on day 30. She lost no water weight, and she gained 6 to 9% lean muscle with no exercise. They actually wear Fitbits to prove they didn't exercise. It's right in the studies that you'll see. The other part about this is so significant, it's sustainable. That picture's 8 or 9 years old. She's kept the weight off for 8 or 9 years. I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks, 23 years ago. I've kept it off for 23 years. Here's a woman right here. She lost 100 pounds. She's kept it off for 12 years. And then there's a couple here, Michael and Sheila. He lost 15 pounds, she lost 10 in the first 11 days. They went on each to lose over 60 pounds in 5 months, and they've kept it off for 2.5 years. Every one of these people, look at Curtis, he's 65 years old, 40 pounds and 52.5 inches in a month. But again, look at his blood work. See, that's the thing that should impress you. Look at his A1C, went from 8.4 to 6.4, triglycerides 242 to 124. No diet, no intermittent fasting. They have no medical proof. They talk about, oh, you can lower diabetes. They don't have, where's your medical proof? Don't spout your mouth with no medical proof. That's what they're doing. You're believing nonsense. If it was real, they'd have the medical proof right there. Here's the person, here's how much weight they lost, here's the A1C, here's the cholesterol, here's the triglycerides. They don't have any of that. They give you opinions. This is real science. This could change your life. Cora, makes sense. So Cora, I want to make sure you understand, you can go right above her head there, see Visit the New Health Conversation. That's the free medical website for you to go to see the medical proof for any of you. If you go to that website, we're not going to contact you. We don't need to because the medical proof is there. If you like it, then scroll down, you get a free coach. I mean, we're making it totally easy for you. We don't want to be in the convincing or selling business. We're educators. Our whole website, everything we're doing is based on making you aware of what's available and to try and stop this madness and nonsense of all these people giving you these diets, none of which work long term. Go to Barnes & Noble. Let me ask you a question. They're projecting in 4 years that 86% of you are going to be overweight or obese. If any of those diets on the shelves of Barnes & Noble, or I actually have a report over here, it's funny, but it's really sad. This is a compilation of the results of 110 different diets, 110, with titles it'll blow your mind when I tell you some of these titles. How about the Hup-Link diet? How about the false Mayo Clinic diet? How about the Howard's Hungry Cambridge diet? How about the diet of Sleeping Beauty? How about the cookie diet? How about the jaw wiring diet? How about the nibbling diet? On and on and on and on. At the end of the day, they all ended up about the same. The most anybody lost on any diet ever analyzed in 12 months was about 16 pounds, and 25 to 40% of that weight loss was lean muscle mass. I mean, study after study. Here's another, this is one of the studies that was done in the Journal of the American Medical Association, 12 months. They looked at 48 unique randomized trials on human beings, including 7,286 individuals, and they named all the major diets. You can go look this up, okay? A comparison of weight loss among named diet programs on overweight and obese adults. What they looked at, so they named them all: keto, paleo, Mediterranean, time-restricted eating, fasting, water fasting, Cornish zone, Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, Nutrisystem. After 12 months on some of these diets, the most anybody lost was 11 pounds. Well, they lost 11 pounds in a year, which is about a pound, less than a pound a month. The most anybody lost was about 16 pounds, and 25 to 40% of what they lost on any diet was lean muscle mass. This is what you're doing to yourselves. No question you're going to lose weight initially on these diets, and then it's going to break your heart. You're going to lose the weight. You all know that. You've done these yo-yo diets before, but no one ever told you why. Go watch the documentary on Netflix on The Biggest Loser. It'll shock you. Those people who lost, some of them over 200 pounds, they've gained back 250. They ruined their metabolism. They'll tell you, follow the show. They had them on 600 or 800 calories a day. They were working out 5 or 6 hours a day. They damn near dieted. I mean, some people ended up in the hospital. You don't see that behind the scenes. They didn't show you that on the television show. But every diet you're on, you're losing lean muscle mass, which is slowing down your immune system. You don't have to believe me. It's out there in the public domain. Go look at it. I mean, when you talk about the researchers talking about calories in, calories out on any of these diets, listen to what they're saying. The deadly delusion of calorie counting. Abandon, they're saying, calories in, calories out. This includes Harvard Medical School, but listen, here's what they said. Calories in, calories out is a dangerous fraud. The body completely ignores calories, which are merely a lab-invented unit of energy with no corresponding biological sensor or mechanism. Instead, it craves essential air, water, and nutrition to function, where hunger acts as a signal for nutrient deficiencies, not calorie deficiencies, rendering calorie tracking not just ineffective, but a harmful distraction that perpetuates obesity cycles and dieting failures. How's that diet looking to you now? And then when you hear this nonsense about this time-restricted eating, you don't have to count calories. Well, wait a minute. Here's a big study done in the Annals of Internal Medicine on this time-restricted eating. I mean, you can believe whatever you want, but unless there's medical proof behind it, it's all nonsense. So here's what they did. They did a 12-week study comparing time-restricted eating to just lowering calories. At the end of 12 weeks, the people on time-restricted eating only lost 4.6 pounds, gained almost no benefit from it, and those just lowering calories lost 5.2 pounds. So the people who just lowered calories lost more weight than time-restricted eating. But then they went on to say in conclusion, any suggestion that time-restricted eating weight loss was due to anything other than reducing the amount of calories or nutrition is totally false. So they're telling you don't have to count calories. What a bunch of nonsense. First of all, the body can't even count a calorie in the first place. Why aren't they telling you, did you get enough nutrition? You're cramming a day's worth of eating into 8 hours. It doesn't work. You understand? You're fasting for 16 hours. The only thing you're losing on this damn diet, on that diet, is your lean muscle mass. It's proven. I've got the other study right here, Journal of the American Medical Association, 3-month study on time-restricted eating. They said after 3 months, the participants gained almost no benefit, lost 2 to 3.5 pounds, and the weight they lost was lean muscle mass. That's your time-restricted eating that you're following. They got hundreds of thousands of followers. What the hell? And they're charging you for recipes? You got to buy 6 months or a year at a time of recipes? Really? Really? Without one shred of medical evidence? Buyer beware. That's all I can say. Buyer beware. We don't have anything to sell. There's nothing to buy from us. You're buying food, and you're getting free coaching, and you're even getting a free... This is a virtual coach created by the researchers who created this. These are daily videos from them. They don't have any products. They don't sell you anything. They're teaching you what they learned because they spent 40 years of their lives proving diets don't work, and this does. So who else would like to ask me a question? So Cora, I'm glad you understand. I'm happy to, this is live, everybody. I'm more than happy to answer any question or questions from any of you about this. So would anybody like to ask me a question, whether it's sweet tea or any of you? Who would like to find out how she lost 21 pounds in 30 days with no exercise, lost no water weight, and gained 6 to 9% lean muscle mass? And she's kept it off for 8 or 9 years. They all have. Look at this. I mean, this is, how about 35 pounds in 37 days? 35 pounds in 37 days. Does that intrigue you? Most women on this lose a whole dress size in a week with no exercise. No one was allowed to exercise. And then we look at someone like April, 60 pounds in 3 months. 60, that's 5 pounds a week. See, there's other things that hold it up. Oh, she lost 50 pounds. They don't tell you how long it took. And they got no medical, there's no medical, it's just the number on the scale. Wait a minute, that doesn't mean anything. What kind of weight did you lose? Would it shock you to know that 25 to 40% of all the pounds you're losing on any diet is your lean muscle mass? It's not an opinion on my part. It's proven medically. And when that happens, your brain will slow down your metabolism and it slows down your immune function. So by going on a diet, one of these diets, you're actually making yourself unhealthy. Does that sound like a good idea? Maybe you're gonna fit in your skinny jeans temporarily, but it's all gonna come back. I mean, 2/3 are gonna weigh more than when you started. I mean, it's not my opinion. Every study says that. I mean, I got Medicare to back me up. Listen to this. Medicare's search for effective obesity treatments. Diets are not the answer. This is Medicare. Our researchers at Medicare looked at long-term outcomes of calorie-restricted diets to assess whether dieting is an effective treatment for obesity. The study showed that 2/3 of dieters regained more weight than they lost on any diet. In summary, there's little support for the notion that diets lead to lasting weight loss or health benefits. Do you think we need a new approach? You're all following this nonsense. Keto, paleo, this time-restricted eating it's just nonsense. It's nonsense. Yeah, they lose weight initially. The medical proof behind it is just silly good, saying there's never been a diet analyzed where people lost weight and kept it off long term, including this stupid time-restricted eating, which is nothing more than reducing the amount of food you're consuming, whether they tell you that or not. I want them to show me one shred of medical evidence backing up what they're saying. They don't have any. This protocol we're talking about is published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world. In the Obesity Journal, Frontiers in Nutrition, Frontiers, Nutrition Journal, Frontiers in Dieting, Nature Communications. This is like 7 or 8 of the biggest medical, there's 10 total. I just have like 6 or 7 of them here in my hand. And if you go to the website, you can get to see the studies. They're there. We have nothing to hide, and the website's free. And we won't even contact you if you go there. And if you go there, then you get a free coach. How much is the coaching? Free. How much is the consultation? Free. Is there an app to buy? No apps. You're buying food. And you get, this is what the researchers, this is a virtual coach developed by the top weight loss nutrition physiologists in the world with daily videos from them telling you why it works. Hello? And you want to buy a program where they're selling you recipes? Really? Really? Do whatever you want, buyer beware. I'm just flabbergasted. I'm flabbergasted by, so good morning. Does this work on women going through, oh my God, yes, Theo, unbelievable for perimenopause. Is there an eating schedule for vacation? Yes, sweet tea. The reason you get a coach. Listen, we got people going on cruises. We got people going to Hawaii. We got people going to Europe. No, absolutely. Look, Theo and sweet tea. Did you get a chance to hear me explain how it works? Because I'm happy, it'll take me 2 or 3 minutes to go over it, because I want you to be able to at least have a general idea. Then if you decide to go to the website, there's a much more detailed explanation on there. If you go to the website, we won't even contact you. And then if you like what you see, it's free coaching. I'm not kidding you. There's no app to buy. There's no products to buy. It's based on food. So can either one of you tell me, oh yes, but I love hearing it. Okay, good. But how about you, Theo? Did you get a chance to hear the explanation of how? Well, let me ask all of you, seriously, comment. What do you think about, what do you think about her? 35 pounds in 37 days. I mean, unless you think it's Photoshop. So again, Theo, did you get a chance to hear what this is? Because it's not a diet, it's a detox. That's why it helps with menopause so much. And it's proven, it's the most extensive medical research ever done on weight loss nutrition and health protocol. Because this is a health system, it's not a diet. The weight loss is that's like a throw-in. I mean, Theo, how excited would you be if in the first week, with no exercise, because none of them were allowed to exercise, you'll lose a whole dress size in 7 days. Theo, it's so powerful that in the first 4 days, you'll lose at least as much weight as you have in 4 or 6 weeks of any diet you've ever been on. How much would that motivate you to continue? We have an expression, just give us 4 days, because normally in 4 days, they lose as much weight as you would in a month of dieting in 4 days. And it's completely safe, and it's medically backed, the most extensive medical research ever done. They did blood, stool, urine, fat analysis. They did body composition. They did blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, triglycerides, and even brain function. This is going to change the world. This can change your world. But again, Theo, I want to make sure, did you get a chance? Theo, did you get a chance to hear me? Theo, so you did get a chance, or very much you want me to explain it to you? Please clarify. I mean, I'm happy to do it. Because we got a bunch of new people on here anyway that probably want to hear it. So, okay, Theo. But Theo, do you understand at any time you can go visit the New Health Conversation? It's free. Dreamlyn Clohos. Let's see if I can let her in. Okay, continue. I'm trying to let somebody in here. I have no idea who this is. And that's the problem. They want to come on the podcast and then the creator opted out. So I don't know what to tell you. But anyway, let's keep going. Okay, I did not hear. Okay, let's come back to Kristen. All right, so give me a couple minutes. Don't get impatient before I finish, okay? So first of all, who invented it? It was invented by the top weight loss nutrition physiologists in the world. They had done 100 studies on human beings, thousands of people, over 40 years. 40 years. They never found a diet where people lost weight and kept it off. Worse, 2/3 of everybody they ever studied in 40 years gained more weight than they lost. And now we have I just read to you from Medicare's search for obesity treatments. Diets are not the answer. The researchers looked at long-term studies showing that 2/3 of dieters regained more weight than they lost on any diet. So there's now even backup to what these researchers found. But this led them to discover what this is. It's not a diet. As a matter of fact, they forbid you from counting calories. They won't even give you calories. They put together food groups that were based on 2 principles. One, yes, they were going to give you less food, but they selected the foods with the highest level of nutrition. Because see, your body doesn't care, it doesn't know what a calorie is. It can't count a calorie. I'd love for any of you to tell me the medical definition of a calorie, which you're all counting. Your body doesn't count calories, doesn't care about calories, doesn't give a damn about a calorie, okay? So anyway, what they were able to do is they put together a grocery list. You actually would get the grocery list, you'd take it to the grocery store, proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables, but instead of calorie amounts, they give you serving sizes. So if it's protein, how many ounces? If it's vegetables, is it a third or half a cup? It's all laid out, there's no guesswork, 100% free, that list. The other 70% of what you would consume, so take your grocery list, or your bill last month, take 30% of those dollars, that's all you're going to spend this month at your grocery store. The other 70% comes from these other researchers who'd gone around the world to Russia, to Mongolia, to Tibet, South America, New Zealand, to find foods with huge amounts of nutrition. So that's what she was going to eat. And then 30% from a grocery store, 70% from these, what the researchers have called these food groups, the world's most perfect meals from a nutritional standpoint. And they even said, unless you're on a prescription for low iron or calcium, you need no other supplements. None. Zero. Okay? Got it? So then they developed this new way of eating where they got a registered trademark with the U.S. Patent Office called protein pacing. So 5 days a week, she had 4 meals a day. Imagine on a diet, 4 meals a day. Starting with the world's most perfect meal from Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand. That was breakfast. Lunch from the grocery store, dinner from the grocery store, and a 4th meal after dinner from the world's most perfect meals. You got it? So 5 days a week, 4 meals a day. 2 days a week, no food from the grocery store, only these world's most perfect meals. But this time, she ate 8 times a day. She was eating every hour and a half for 2 hours. But what made it work is these were small quantities of food, but huge amounts of nutrition, okay? So one of the things that was amazing, the diabetics, and there were a lot of diabetics on this, no one had an insulin spike. There were people who weighed 500 pounds, they weren't hungry. If I teach you anything else, you cannot be hungry for calories. Total nonsense, total nonsense. The only thing you can ever be hungry for is nutrition. Well, they solved that. Hunger in the month, it went down 40% in a month for people. In about a week, people's cravings all but disappeared because they were being satisfied nutritionally, which is the only thing you can ever be. Then they did the most extensive medical research ever done on a diet, nutrition, or health program, where they did blood, stool, urine, fat analysis, blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, triglycerides, liver enzymes, brain function. What did they find? This was first and foremost, it's not a diet, it's a detox. They proved it. In the blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis, they proved this was assisting the body removing the chemicals. The reason her stomach shrunk so much day 1 to day 30, no exercise. Because see, you're all breathing, drinking, eating chemicals, whether you know it or not. As they come in your body, the body takes the chemical and stuffs it in what's called your visceral fat. Your visceral fat is the fat around your organs. Your outer layer of fat is called your adipose or your subcutaneous. That's not what's important. What's important is the visceral fat. Well, they proved that this was removing the chemicals from the fat cells and they shrank. Don't let anybody tell you burn fat on a diet or an exercise. That's a complete lie. You're born with a certain number of fat cells, you die with a certain number of fat cells. So the first thing they proved, this is a detox. Number 2, they proved inflammation, which is the underlying cause of every disease. Every one of us has it. It went down 25% in 30 days. No diet's ever shown this. The need for insulin in the diabetics came down so much, 41% in a month, that the doctors monitoring their patients had to cut their meds by 50% in 30 days. The other big bonus to this was maintenance. That picture's 8 or 9 years old. She's kept it off for 8 or 9 years. Maintenance is so simple. You have the world's most perfect, that's what I had this morning, the world's most perfect meal for breakfast. I'm going to have lunch here in a few hours. I'll have dinner tonight, and then every couple months, I do another 48-hour, no food from the grocery store, just these exotic foods around the world, to detox my body. I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks, 23 years ago. But how many of you would be excited about losing 20 pounds in a month? She lost no water weight and gained 6 to 9% lean muscle mass in a month. And most women in this, she lose a whole dress size in the first week. In the first week with no exercise. Now, you certainly can exercise if you want to. The only reason the researchers eliminated exercise was, otherwise you'd say, well, she lost weight because it was diet and exercise. No, it wasn't. There was no exercise. They actually wore Fitbits to prove they didn't exercise. So this makes fitness trainers crazy when they come on and they want to argue with me. That's impossible. No, it's not impossible. And it's published in the 10 biggest medical journals in the world. Not an opinion by anybody, including myself. Opinions don't matter. That's what you're following with all these other people on social media. They're giving you opinions. Oh, do this time-restricted eating where you don't eat for 16 hours each day. Total nonsense. Total nonsense. Just nonsense. There's no medical proof. And they're selling you recipes. You got to buy 6 months or a year of recipes. Really? And where's the 100? You understand on this, 30% of what you spend at the grocery store, the other 70% of your dollars go to these exotic foods. Those suppliers, those researchers, they'll give you 100% of your money back in the first 30 days. That's why if you go to the website and scroll down and like what you see, you get a free coach and it'll say 100% money back guarantee. But I want to clarify, you're not going to get a refund, I don't think, from your grocery store for the 30% you bought, but the 70%, 100% money back guarantee, and you get free coaching. I know it sounds too good to be true, and where's the other shoe? What's the catch? There's no catch. How much is the coaching? Free. How much is the consultation? Free. How much does the coaching cost? $0. I get people all the time to put in, how much is the coaching? The coaching is free. We all got coached. And we're sharing with everybody else. And we have lots of people that go on it, they have a great result, and then their friends want to do it, and then they're helping us coach all of you. Every one of you would get a coach. No one does this without a coach. Free. The coaching's free. You hear me? Free. I have to go to work. Thank you. Good, Coralie. Theo, how do you get the detox? Theo, you go to the website. Do you see it right there? I thought I explained that. Sorry. The New Health Conversation. Do you see that, Theo? And you can go to Google, all of you, type in the New Health Conversation, because this is a detox. The weight loss is like this great throw-in, right? The New Health Conversation. There's the link. Click on the link. It'll take you to the website. There's nothing to buy on that website except the medical proof. And you can scroll down once you get to see all the medical proof for free, and then you get a coach and they'll explain to you, they'll give you the grocery list for the grocery store, they'll show you how to buy direct from the suppliers who went to Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand, and they'll coach you for free the whole time, Theo. The whole time it's free. So do you understand that now, Theo? So again, there it is, the New Health Conversation. Theo, give me a yes if that makes sense to you, okay? And I know we have more new people coming on. Who else would like to ask me a question? We're now at 1 hour and 33 minutes. That's okay. I'm going to go a little bit longer because we've got new people. Who would like me to explain to them how to do this? It's not a diet. It's a detox. She lost the weight 8 or 9 years ago. She's kept it off 8 or 9 years. Most women on this lose a whole dress size in a week with no exercise. I mean, does anybody think there's anything like this on the planet? Does anybody want to give me... Now, the other thing that's so unique about this, it's published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world. You can't show me one other person on social media with one shred of medical evidence, one shred. I'm open to the idea, right? I'm open, let me know. But for the new people that are on here, would anybody like to know how she did this? Because I'll go over it again. Wow, we got 3,200 likes. Can we get some more taps on that screen to get more likes? You just tap on your screen if you like the content. That's all you have to do. So who else would like to ask me how in the world she did this? But it's not just her. I mean, when you look at, look at Julie, everybody, 35 pounds in 37 days. 35 pounds in 37 days. And then April, 60 pounds in 3 months. 60. That's 5 pounds a week for 3 straight months. You show me anything else on the planet like that. Look at the change in her face and her arms and her body. That's not Photoshopped. And then look at the 65-year-old man, 40 pounds in a month. And look at his blood work, his A1C from 8.4 to 6.4. Triglycerides 242 to 124. That's in 30 days. Is anybody else showing you that? The only thing they ever show you is the number on the scale. But there's nothing behind it because there's no medical proof behind what they're claiming. See, we don't have to claim anything. We're not making claims because it's all published in these peer-reviewed human trial studies. That's why we always let the censors know on our community guidelines. Nothing. It's all available in the public domain. You all can go see it. So we're not making a claim when we're reading from a medical study. This is medical proof. It's been vetted, analyzed by the top medical doctors and researchers in the entire world. That's how you get published in these big medical journals. How come no other diet is in there? Huh? How come no other diet's in there? Can you tell me why? Because you understand if they subjected themselves to a peer-reviewed human trial study, they'd be exposed. So the claims that they're making are what are called unsubstantiated, meaning there's no way on earth for you to back up what's possible. So would anybody else like to ask me a question before I close this live out? I'm a nutritionist. And everybody says, wow, wonderful, thank you very, very much. I'm a nutritionist and everything he's saying is 100% correct. Wow, thank you very much for that. I really do appreciate it. So who else would like to ask me a question? But in closing, in case you're busy, you need to go, what I would encourage all of you to do, see it says visit the New Health Conversation. It's a free medical website. Everything is explained on there. Everything. And we won't even contact you if you go there. But if you go there and you like what you see, scroll down, and you get a free consultation. Well, no, you get a free coach the whole time. The consultation's free, but also they'll coach you all the way through to your goals and teach you how to maintain it. See, the key to this is maintenance. She lost that weight 8 or 9 years ago. She's kept it off for 8 or 9 years. She lost no water weight and gained 6 to 9% lean muscle mass. And look at everybody. A nutritionist just came on. I'm a nutritionist, and everything he's saying is 100% correct. That's pretty good, isn't it? That's not an opinion. That's really wonderful. So who else would like to ask me a question? Anybody? I see we still have a few people left and we got 3,500 likes. That's really good. Website, please. Yes, Cynthia. Do you see right above her head, Cynthia? Give me a yes. Visit the New Health Conversation. Do you see it, Cynthia? And all you do, Cynthia, go to Google and type in the New Health Conversation, Cynthia. I just want to show you, it'll make it easier for you. Look, it's the New Health Conversation, Cynthia. There's the website. And there's nothing on that website to buy, except the only thing there is the medical proof, including, Cynthia, number one is an exclusive podcast with the number one weight loss nutrition physiologist in the whole world. We will not contact you, Cynthia, if you go there. But if you like what you see, you scroll down and you get a free coach. Cynthia, the consultation's free and the coaching's free the whole time because you've never done anything like this. In addition, also the coaches will give you for free. It's called the Blueprint for Success. And each one of these yellows are daily videos from the researchers who created this. They have no products to sell, but they did it. This is exactly what they gave to their patients in these huge studies that they conducted that's going to change the world. So I would encourage all of you to go to the website. It's free to go there. There's nothing to buy. And so, Cynthia, if you like what you see, you get a free coach and they'll go over everything with you. And there's no gimmicks, Cynthia. There's no like, oh, it's the consultation's $100. You're not buying anything from the coaches. There's nothing to buy. You're buying food, 30% from the grocery store and 70% from these exotic foods from Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand. And then there's a totally new way of eating, which has, and no calorie counting allowed. They don't let you calorie count. Now, in this case, none of these people were allowed to exercise, not because they were against exercise, but they wanted to eliminate it. Otherwise, you'd say, oh, well, it was diet and exercise. No, it wasn't. Does that make sense, Cynthia? Cynthia, let me say one last thing. How excited would you be if in 4 days you lose as much weight as in a month of any diet you've ever been on, and it's safe? How about in the first week, you'd lose a whole dress size in 7 days with no exercise. You lose no water weight and gain 6 to 9% lean muscle mass in your first month, depending on how much weight you want to lose. Because you can see we've got, look at this lady right here, Cynthia, 200 pounds in a year, and she's kept it off. 200 pounds. And then Janet, well, I shouldn't say only, she lost 100 pounds and she's kept it off now for 12 years. And then Sheila and Michael, a couple, he lost 15 pounds, she lost 10 in the first 11 days. And look at them, in 5 months, they both lost over 60 pounds. She lost 62, I think he lost 65, and they've kept it off for 2.5 years. This is not some short-range diet. This is a health system. It's about your health. And I'll prove it to you right here when you look at the blood work. Granted, he lost 40 pounds in a month, but look at his blood work, went from 8.4 to 6.4, triglycerides 242 to 124. That's in 30 days, everyone, 30 days. Super excited, okay? I'll bet you would be, Cynthia. Cynthia, I always joke with women, I tell them, you know what the most expensive part of this is? They go, what? The new wardrobe you have to buy. And you know what they tell me back, Cynthia? No, Peter, you don't understand. I can go shopping in my own closet. It always makes me laugh. They tell me that all the time. But honestly, one of the things, Cynthia, we have to warn you on the 5th morning, because you weigh on day 1 and then on day 5, most people think their scale broke. I'm not kidding you. But just imagine, if you lose as much weight in 4 days as in a month of dieting, how motivated would you be to continue? Pretty motivated, I'm assuming, correct? Yep. All right, everybody, I do have to go, and so it's now, let's see, it's 10:19 on the East Coast. So I'll probably come back on about 11:30 East Coast time, okay, today to do another one. But in the meantime, you're all free to go to the website right there. Visit the web link, The New Health Conversation, The New Health Conversation. Go take a look, and then if you like what you see, you get a free coach. No gimmicks, no charge for coaching, no charge for anything. You don't buy anything from us. You're buying 30% of the food from your grocery store. You get a free grocery list, proteins, fats, carbs, and fruits and vegetables. And 70% of the food you're going to buy comes from these other researchers who've gone around the world to Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand, foods you can't buy in your grocery store. And that's what made this thing work. Okay? Theo's excited. Hopefully Cynthia's excited. Everybody's excited. Okay, great, everybody. I'm going to sign off now. And like I said, tell your friends about this podcast. We want to really make it grow. I've done over 1,000 of them in a year, and we want to really get and be able to help more and more people. But again, I'll leave you with visit the New Health Conversation, free medical website, no gimmicks, no tricks. We're not going to contact you if you go there. Only way we'll contact you is if you contact us, okay? Thank you, everybody. Bye for now.